Hello and welcome to Crypto Weeklies. In this video, we are going to forecast Ethereum's price action and regression-based analysis, and also analyze its Bitcoin price and Bitcoin related valuation. None of the content is financial advice. Let's get started. Right now, ETH is one of the cryptos which is rallying a lot from its lows of early April of 2025, when the price was at around $1,500. Now the price of ETH has gone to a key level on this chart over here at around $2,400-$2,500. At one point it was at around $2,700. This came off of a support that ETH has enjoyed since about 2023 September. Price did go slightly lower over here on a weekly candles, but again no candle body below this white line, which is the going forward support. On the other longer time period, there was a range of higher highs and higher lows that ETH had enjoyed till about February of 2025. This higher high and higher low structure got broken, and now ETH is potentially testing if it could rally beyond this green line. Right now that green line is coming in at around $2,900, which is confluent with that 0.5 fib level from its previous all-time high at around $4,800 to its bear market bottom of at around $850. So let's see if this ascending green line acts as a resistance, or if ETH can manage holding its own and going forward and making new all-time highs. So this is one key level to watch at around $2,900. Right now, again, the other if there is a cool off in the market, the two levels of interest is the 21-week exponential moving average for ETH is coming in at around $2,300 roughly speaking, and the $2,400, which is the 20-week simple moving average. Those two key levels, if ETH manages to hold on to it in a correction in the next couple of weeks, if there is a correction, then again it could form a base above the 20-week simple moving average and try to test its green line. Coming to the machine learning based price forecast, in a bullish recovery which could happen without a euphoria, which is one standard deviation bull case at around 68th percentile, or one standard deviation recovery for ETH in a bull case, could be price action could be in the next 6 months per the machine learning model trend on weekly price action of ETH, could be between $2,800.77 and almost $4,500. So $4,500 ETH in the next 6 months is in card per this machine learning based model, which looks at historical price action trends on seasonal ARIMA to account for post-halving year returns, and the 4-year cycle, as well as the machine learning algorithms such as LSTM and XGBoost. All in all, this directionality related model in this pink line says all things equal, the likelihood of Ethereum's price action going higher with time is high compared to lower with time. Again, ETH has been on a longer period of time has been making a series of higher highs and higher lows that kind of got challenged in this April correction, from February till April correction of 2025. Let's see if this triple top structure gets broken to the upside. The 3 times ETH managed to get to this top of the line over here at around this fib level, currently at around 0.786 from the previous highs of about $4,900, less than 5K. So if this 0.786 gets challenged to the upside and there is a rally beyond that, the target for ETH for this Fibonacci based analysis could be somewhere between, again, 1.618 for the potential new all-time high for ETH comes at around $7,500 roughly speaking. The last time around, the previous from the 2018 cycle to 21 cycle, 2017 to 2021 cycle, the highs were at around 3.414 fib level, close to that level. But again, this time around, the 3.414 level is all the way up at around $14,700. This time around, again, accounting for some diminishing returns, of the 1.618 becomes the more conservative target for ETH based on fib levels. The 2.618 is at all the way at around 11,500 for ETH. So going to the machine learning side, though, it says that the likelihood of a potential new all-time high, again per this model, is not in cards till about October 2025. This is the one standard deviation non-euphoria case. Again, if there is a euphoria in the market which lasts to about 3 to 4 months, that could push per this model, push each price action between $3,000 and about $6,500. Again, still a lot shy of that 1.618. For that to occur, there needs to be a 3 standard deviation or a blow off top, with the top being close to that 99.7 percentile ceiling. A 99.7 percentile ceiling essentially says that there is only 0.3% chance that the price breaks to the either to the upside or to the downside at that 3 standard deviation bear case. Again, that essentially means that 0.15% chance, so less than a quarter of a percent chance that the price breaks to the upside of this model, which says that in the next 6 months, if there were to be a 3 standard deviation rally per the machine learning based price forecast, that the ceiling could be at around 9k for ETH. Takes close to the midpoint of 1.618 and the 2.618, the 7.5k and 11.5k. If you add them together, that would be at around 19k. 19k divided by 2, that gets to about $9,500. So that's the average of the two cases. If you look at ETH from the ETH versus Bitcoin ratio, this is ETH divided by the BTC price action. That's why all the contents are in fractions. Bitcoin is at around 102k, ETH is at around 2500. That means if you divide them, you divide ETH's price, that 2.5k divided by 100k, roughly speaking, gets you to that fraction of about 0.02. It's currently at a key level. Again, it went all the way close to that bottom that it got to the 2019 drop. Again, this time around there was slightly higher highs. If you compare to the weekly candle bodies closing, or the wicks closing all the way about around 0.016, this time around the lows were at around 0.017, so slightly higher, but not that high. This pair is also coming in at a key level at around, from this bottom. This pair has rallied quite a bit. Now it is challenging that 20-week simple moving and the 21-week exponential moving averages. If they were to break to the upside, the next level to watch is potentially at 0.035. And in terms of fraction, if we instead of divide that 0.035 by potentially by Bitcoin's price action at any given point, so again it's 0.035. This is again about 28 ETH per BTC, and if you multiply this by, let's say, at that point in time, if Bitcoin also rallies to about 100k or so, sorry, not 100k, 150k, that takes each price action somewhere close to, if you calculate it using this methodology, again 150k price of Bitcoin, and then the pair going to that 0.23 fib level, at that level, somewhere over here, if Bitcoin goes to 150k and the pair goes to 0.045, that is the 0.382. again, you can do a analysis moving forward. So from the 2017 cycle to the 2021 cycle, in terms of ETH divided by BTC, the pair could only manage to get to the 0.05 fib level in the next cycle. If you were to forecast that, again using just anecdotal evidence and last cycle, and get to that this time around, if ETH gets to that 0.053 level instead of 35 again at its peak, and if Bitcoin's price action peaks at somewhere close to 180k at that point in time, again if ETH is rallying on its Bitcoin pair, that means Bitcoin also is rallying on its USD pair. These assets are highly correlated. That gets ETH's price on the USD pair at around 9,600, kind of at a confluent level from that, somewhere between the 1.618 and the 2.618, somewhere over here. That's what the pair based analysis also describes. Again, this model, the machine learning model, did do only forecast to about 6 months out into the future. That takes about mid-October of 2025. Again, peak for ETH USD could happen in December or in January, like it did back in 2017-2018 cycle, where the peak was not in the post-halving year, but the first month of the year after the post halving year. So that is also something that needs to be considered. Again, this is not financial advice. In terms of the regression based analysis, the current fair value for ETH is coming in at around $3,800. That means ETH is currently undervalued in terms of any regression based bottom identification. Whenever the whenever the price is lower than this green line, is essentially, per my interpretation of the model, ETH is in an accumulation phase, like it was back in June 2022 till about January 2023, and now potentially in March 2025 till about May of 2025. Right now the prices are slightly above it, slightly above the green line. The next target for ETH is the 1 standard deviation ceiling, for which with this yellow line it's coming in at around $6,000. That's the 1 standard deviation. If ETH were to manage to go to that 2 standard deviation ceiling again this time around, that could take the price action currently at around 10k, but uh, somewhere again between the 1.618 and the 2.618, with accounting for the diminishing return this time around. In terms of regression analysis also, the price could top somewhere between, per my interpretation, between the yellow line and the orange line. Right now they are at around, roughly speaking, 6k and 10k respectively. Towards the end of the year, this yellow line could be somewhere at, if you were to extend it, somewhere at around 7.5k, whereas the orange line could be somewhere at around 12k. Taking at an average of those, gets you to that 9.5k. So that's where there is another area of confluence. If you were to look at the current accumulation risk, this is price color coded with respect to the risk level. Again, this model did identify the bottom in April as well as in June and in November, where the risk identified was less than 0.1. You can see if the target risk is in interpretation is between 40 to 50%, and the higher end between 50 to 60%, between 0.4 and 0.6 risk, this gets the price between 4.8k, the previous all-time high for ETH, and 6.5k. So this is the shorter term target. In terms of the longer term target, again, when the price tops between 8.8k, so $8,800 ETH, and the $9,600 ETH, that is identified as the most risky the ETH can get, and tops usually occur whenever you see the price go to that top of the red dotted line, that is the 2 standard deviation ceiling applied to the fair value regression line that we just saw at a weekly candle. So that's where ETH could top. With that, I would like to conclude the video. Hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, please give us a like and subscribe, and hope to see you again tomorrow. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye bye.